Sports fans, welcome back to, well, Cabal Vision. With me, Inox. Look, as I campaign, because I'm looking details. This will hard on you if you don't move.
If the rules of this game are too complicated for you, well, you're an idiot, aren't you? What are you doing here? But I suppose you can just watch some matches here?
Oh, that's fun. You actually watch the real matches. Here we go, because we are, playing the Bretonians. Technically both humans. They're from the faction of the Bretonians. Like highborn noble dudes. He's got a trophy. He's got a trophy. Why do they got trophies? Got a lot of AV players. I've got these skills. Harder, better, faster, stronger.
Welcome back, Blood Bowl fans. We find the resurgent Reavers in a blitz of controversy.
It's a mess, Jim. I'm a simple ogre. I like my problems aired on the Blood Bowl field. Violence solves everything. I've got no patience for the cloak and daggery stuff.
Speaking of violence, I got an interesting twerp this morning from the real mighty Zug. I'll zog and kill anyone who uses my name again.
Sounds like a verified account.
Well, yes, Zug twerps that he hates to see his team under such pressure and says if the coach can prove himself, he'll rejoin the squad. We better see how they do.
I am will suck if you try you, then I will kill you.
Welcome back, sports fans.
Very nice stadium, Jim.
Nice weather to play Blood Bowl. Oh dear, this is a totally unbalanced match. I can't understand what they're even doing on the same field.
I do actually have a way. My own team score is higher. Like 900, I'm at nearly 1200. I got the question is, I don't think you guys have any extras. They also have an ogre.
Never really played against the Bretonians, Jim. I've heard the yeomen are tasty, and the knights are good at blitzing.
Knights here. I want to go on the night. Right, so, let's see, Emperor's Shield. I don't have a bit of a thing. Emperor's Shield, because I know. Do so. They do so. That leaves very few areas.
What does Zug mean by prove, Jim?
It's the mighty Zug, Bob. There's only one way you could prove something to him. By causing as many casualties as possible.
Oh, touchdown. I put the touchdown zone. Casey lad. I should show him some. Last characteristic is armor value. As soon as the player is down, he risks an injury. His armor value characteristic reduces this risk.
Yeah, now we're talking.
That's exactly what I'm. You think one of these guys might go pick that ball up? There you go. He never would have lost, so...
The team have possession. This player likes to be well assisted in a fight.
I gotta punch one of my guys for both that fight.
Unity is strength.
Yes. That's why they put like 3 guys to 1. They have the same strength that we do. My turn.
Yeah, smells like a good old-fashioned fight. Is the assist gonna be enough to come out on top?
Yes. And follow, please. Now that monkey. He's strength 2. It's not really a problem. He's not
Close and personal, Bob.
You need to be close. So close they can smell your breath and see the dead insects in your teeth.
The players arrive to assist their teammate.
No, push on. Leave open, but move up there, they can't push on him. Well, we see 2 people on the big problem.
The player's fist is approximately the same size as his entire opponent.
Thing, I know, right? Goal was matches cause for injuries. It's not an easy task to accomplish. Even my throwers don't exactly inspire strength. Not well, Benson anyway. What are you killed? You charge. Sorry? Foot 3 comes in. You got a choice to go to the wall. Oh, the one was extra. The problem is they're marked. All these guys are marked.
I can't see a sign saying slippery surface at the edge of the pitch.
Outs. Get the 2 rules. Dodge.
Twinkle toes.
I mean, they can set up on him. I bet you chose the option that did not belong in the Kingdom's Tower.
Smug for remaining upright. Pride comes before a fall.
Again, chose the option that doesn't belong in the Kingdom's Tower.
Smells weakness. He won't leave him alone anytime soon.
Going to try it for 30 years.
That's quite a mismatch, Bob.
I know. That weedy fella's gonna get splatted. Oh, I'm excited, Jim.
Sometimes the underdog wins. This time.
Stunned. It might be a fraud, but I'm giving you multiple strength stats. What's it? Advantages? Stays with you.
Well, at least they're not dead. Yet.
Placing the dead and injured player boxes, injury prevents him from finishing the match. May even inflict permanent penalties and characteristics. Even here. So they have one extra dude. We on the other hand have many dudes. We even get the double KO sign. Follow. Yeah. The other little thing, that's fine. I'm staying, so I can... This way out. I'm gonna follow the code, which is nicely simply your way.
Now that's a holding maneuver, if ever I saw one.
Yes. Still possible strength
It's
of the
going to be decisive.
Follow one more step and...
Here we are, the picture. Those only down that may actually not just play injured or knocked out. Accidentally rule. The bad rules is fine. Even thrower, he's got high strength. He's on strength 2. Even in the hands is a little better. Oh, I'm not taking the double KO. Follow.
That's it. Force him back and then pow!
Yeah, I think we've got 2 guys on him. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Hopefully next turn we'll deal to them. Try for a move, push. On the plus side, they got one guy who won't be with us this turn, and one guy's out the pitch permanently. They want to just like inflict as much damage as humanly possible. I'll buy my guys that might just possibly pull out a baseball bat and hit them. I'll try to get my infantry chance here. Not good. Quick pass. That's not going to help much.
The ball is secure. Can the other team steal it away?
Not if all we can do form as a push.
Now, he's on him now, like a halfling on a hot dinner. They're gathering around that lone player, like halflings round a sandwich.
He's not choosing the option to double catch. You can foul the player who is down. The foul player makes an armor roll, but rolls in 6 chance. Then you'll play it off until the end of the match. That's a useful little bit of lore to remember. My guy.
Come on, guys, together!
Reroll.
He's away with the fairies. Better watch out. Murderous little beasts.
I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna try and push this guy out. Turn over. They got a problem. They got ogres. No. I will take them. I want to roll over. I want to roll over. I did get the bell. I want the bell. I know for injuries. Never tried before, are they? The only way
Those players are very close. Smells like a fight is about to happen.
really pacific.
He's coming to help his buddy. That's gonna hurt.
That's why they didn't get a chance to lose. They got last turn, they were knocked out. Let's actually tackle blitzers.
The attacker has an assist.
And into the crowd they go.
And the crowd played out. Played on our side. Well, that's 2 now. And they only have 1 spare guy. Don't avoid K2 the team out. Here on out, this team has a definite issue of a lack of people. Robot. Oh, come on. Really?
The players down. Turnover.
I don't know where to run now. So you guys have holes inside. That team. Oh. No, I want you to die.
Good call.
I just failed to lead.
Intimidation is the key. It was one of my strengths when I was still playing.
You can run around, but that's what it's you get. I don't know, Shad. If you chose to roll the fumble, if you chose to kill them, my block dice and his block ability would have stopped it. I need to do something about that. Let's hope we're running a sort of turtle formation.
They're building a cage around the ball here. It's a solid tactic.
If it's way to get rid of Zeals, this is... Yep. Oh well. Stand him first. Give me a massive strength bonus.
That player is about to get punched above and below the belt at the same time.
I don't. I have block. I can't be knocked down with this.
Jeremiah Cool always said, superior skills prevail.
I can't have respect.
Fair fights can be so overrated. There's always room in sport for a scrap like this. With arms like tree trunks, there was only going to be one result in that spat.
But push him off the pitch. I think block is still wrong. Sideways. Yes. We know. I'm having a run pitch of these guys. Let's see. Lineman will make a better block. I got one more reroll left. There's a job dodge chance. Run over him, please. You won't fall over, it's not running for him before he can just run over.
He'll get an assist now. Wuss.
Yes.
Is the assist going to be enough to come out on top?
Follow.
With fists flailing, he's following up, hoping to get the knockdown
That's
next time.
nice, fine, so that's pushing these guys. This way breaking the formation. Look at the double skill. That's how you do this. Take here. Follow. Strong free.
Good call. Intimidation is the key. Strength
My guys.
still playing.
That's there to still, but this, turn 5, no one's touching touchdowns just yet, but we are pushing, and we're getting close to it. We actually get to the situation where we can do that. It'll be 5 steps down 3 men. And I'm getting close. Granted, I've got strength to do here, and they don't have any catches. But he ain't taking that guy.
Little air for the ball carrier.
Never chooses to push the leaders in, trying to... I suffocated in mid-air injury. Now I'm going for it. To both. Strength 2s. Dodge first. I think the older could help with that. He's better. He's better option for this goes.
He's about to get punched above and below the belt at the same time.
Hey. I know I should have followed. Kept it up. Thinking about one. Trying to prep up here for the big
Unity is strength.
chase down.
Well, that's 3.
It is dead.
Skillshot actually rejoined the Reavers now.
A celebrity said something on Torpor, Jim. It must be true.
He was not just injured. He did. That guy not ever going to be playing in the game again. I have removed him from the field of game permanently.
They found the opponent's tackle zone. Should be good.
We're down 4 players, 3 players. 4 because the stun guy. Only 1 extra. Even if we put him on next, it won't make a difference. Even if these 2 come back on, they're still down 3 players. We have 4 spare. I'm not using Blitz.
Come on, guys. Together.
Okay, that's me roll. There you go. Not dead. Not unconscious. One of these guys is gonna be good. There we go. Follow, please.
It reminds me of the famous story of Nurgling and the White Knight. Don't let the bedbugs bite. Really, don't let them. They're massive and can take your hand right off.
Not me. The AI character. This man. Not going for it. He's better than these guys because these guys are all 2s. They're no good. That's fine, but what's them? Rescue play!
He's going to sleep, and maybe we will see him on the pitch later. On the floor
Sorry.
again. This team must like worms or something.
He punched me. How was my tackle? Well, just the first half.
Touchdown!
However, the second half, maybe slightly one-sided.
Touchdown! Just before halftime. That really screws with the players in the locker room.
And it's gone! The match is launched for real.
They're injured free. Okay, 2 covered on their side. But they still lost 3 players.
Fresh start. Carnage can start all over again.
It's going to be hard now that they're outnumbered. They've kicked the ball to the opponents. Now it's time to think defensively.
Go on, out.
Help me out, Jim. These Bretonians are just posho Hubies, right?
Yes, they're different from other human teams like the Marauders or the Reavers. They hail from another nation across the Grey Mountains. They have an obsession for riding around on horses, saving damsels, slaying dragons, and kicking peasants in the face.
Kicking peasants in the face? Oh, that's one of my favorite hobbies, Jim.
Then you might as well head over the border to Bretonia. There's plenty there, and they'll thank you for it.
I give a pushback though.
This player likes to be well assisted in a fight.
Oh. I think I'll push back. Push out the field, not.
Savage, and so am I. Just one more step.
Stand up next to that. And mend it. So I can push you off the field. We are attempting. Please, and please follow.
That player is so close to a world of hurt.
Not for 2 dice advantage here. No, I don't think so.
Keep pushing.
Honestly, it must have to be the one that written the line that way. Can't push angle. Oh well, I also push that way. I have luck. It doesn't bother me. 40% foul.
Because 2 big guys is always better than 1.
Please. I'm on stage.
Sometimes
No, rank is out.
Oh, wait! Something's happening. Ouch. Must really hurt.
He's out cold. He's to the bad now. Half-time comes around. That's half-time. They're down 4 players. And they have no spares. We have stricken them down to the point in which this is literally these 4, 5, 6, 7 guys on the field are all they have to play with players with. Blitz. If we're not in, you're gonna have to play with that. Right. There's another ball.
The ball is in the player's hands. What next?
That's all I can do this time. Stupid long pass with these guys and fractures. I'd rather in turn and get closer. He's not going to help him. Unlocking you anymore.
That's it. Get in their face.
I was going to say, they're not going to pick the option.
So long.
They're going to actually kill their own dude. Even if one makes turn they win. Next turn puts them in good standing. Follow. Please. To an 8. There's no way I am getting this ball. All the way down here. I have to push it in. Someone move him out of the way and then freeze him.
Twinkle toes there.
Freeze him up for a very... We can get there, so just to pull it into the back.
Two big goons get together and fall on you. It can really hurt.
Hello. Hey, I didn't know I injured you. That's great. No use.
This is going to be decisive.
That was so close to a world of hurt.
Failed.
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
So he might... Yeah, so he's more likely to get... Not do anything for that out. Short with pass. 6% chance.
A good solid handoff. These two players work well together.
Yeah, 2 more movement points. Oh, and the game without fumble. That's half time, folks. There's decidedly less of them from off the field. From off the field. Four injured. Recovered one.
A fresh start. You can return to the sword. There is Bob.
Now there's a sight for sore eyes, Jim. That's a Blood Bowl player right there. Maybe this coach knows what he's doing after all. I'm tempted to go down there and help out myself, Jim. I'm worth at least 3 players, and I could do with breaking a few necks to air out the cobwebs. Possession is the key to winning. Must drive the coach crazy, as his team has just kicked it away.
What's on the field?
There is Bob.
Now there's a sight for sore eyes, Jim. That's a Blood Bowl player right there.
I would play...
Maybe this coach knows what he's doing after all.
I shall be putting him in the field from now out. He is star player type. He's worth a fortune. Right. Flash the group's relevance. Okay, so in these 8 turns, they're going to go all the way over here. All the time. They have nobody to spare reserve.
The attacker has an assist.
Yes, and the save. Safety.
What for step end?
Ooh, he's stunned, so he doesn't move well. Alright. Let's get... Alright, he goes. Both counts on that. Oh,
Pushing.
yeah, so Mike won't push it with some guys there.
So just one more step.
The control phone in American Football League, you have this sort of get up. What? Go for it. Blitz.
He's going to get intimate with the fans. I hope intimacy.
Ian the Wild. Yes, I know that was a catchphrase for a YouTuber. Well, okay. That was worth it. Oh man. I can't roll again.
Now that was a very risky block, but it paid off.
Yes. That makes me feel so good as well. Yeah, they're gonna move back. They're gonna football. I mean, the one on good. They haven't got enough players to risk it. They have a single catch in the group. They're all linesmen and... Yeah, they're looking at that one. Blitz. They're both killed for that. Well, they should really catch to get the ball.
Haha, here's some friends. They're gathering around that lone player, like halflings round a sandwich.
I've got losses in that.
That's a strike made with technique and precision. It's not always about sheer muscle or size.
I think the blitz play can be moved in afterwards. I want to go in there to do the dodge.
Up close and personal, Bob.
You need to be close. So close they can smell your breath and see the dead insects in your teeth.
I will move you to here. You'll like catch something. Wait. Well, that makes them now move to get this ball over here.
Well done. They have the ball now.
Short pass. Send pass. Well. Yes. Team, but we have team ball there twice. Ball with her. Injury viewing. That's catcher. But let's face it, we're doing fantastically here. Dodge. Chin.
That's it. Force them back and then pow!
Actually, set me up quite nice for something.
Is the assist going to be enough to come out on top?
Please roll. Oh no. 12. Ah, subconscious. You don't have issues.
Go big guy. Trample all over him.
Oh, God. Alright, let's not say the thing. No follow-up.
This player, the attacker, smells weakness.
And with luck.
They've smacked the player to relieve his team. Well done.
They will go block. Unfortunate. I'm going to follow him. I'm looking down. He's only just can't see that. That means there's two of us, one of him.
He's on him now, like a halfling on a hot dinner.
Good tries. That's one of them for a quick pass.
That last burst of speed, always risky. Watch for the handoff. Successful handoff. I like what I'm seeing.
He only wants to risk it. He wants to do a straight run shot. Yes, I mean, it'll take 3 turns to get there. But it gives us 1, 2, 3. There's plenty of turns to get the ball over the line. Rather than a fumbling trying to go. He made it, one shot. My guys are no good at something.
Well, they had to retreat a little. It was getting dangerous. It's a solid tackle.
Oh, they never do the
That fool carrying the ball. Then you stop him from scoring.
Is there some chance of dodging? No.
Pushing.
The fans seem very rabid. They need a few bits of
And there's another one. We put 5 of them. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in the med thing. Damn blitz.
That's a dangerous place to be.
That's fine. Holy. Now have massive superior numbers. You know what? I bet I should just go to the touchdown. Same with me, we'll fight.
Touchdown! A late equalizer. But do they have enough energy to go on and steal the win?
Yes, because the other team have like 5 guys to try and push through. Injured 6. Okay, what? He didn't get up. So there's 7, so also a team, 7 other teams.
So, now the knockout players seem to have awoken in time for the next down. That must be one heck of a dream they're having.
We're obviously outnumbered. Seems impossible to win.
Both of these teams are on the edge. This kick
Zerg.
is crucial.
Mighty Zerg. He joined my team. Somehow, some reason, he's swapped out a player. I don't know why. Finally. Yeah, choose to the center. Gee, I wonder why. There we go. Touchback. Sure you have it.
That player is looking rather smug for remaining upright. Pride comes
trouble.
before the fall.
Give it the ball.
The Dark Elf Cult of Cain Torpor account has just sent a message out asking for the location of Griff Oberwald. Apparently, they want to discuss some promotional opportunities.
It all sounds rather deliciously sneaky to me, Bob. More like dark elf assassins are trying to lure Oberwald out of hiding. Who do you think's holding that contract, Bob?
No doubt. Gotta be the Kobasi brothers. They're not gonna forget the Gruff by Griff debacle.
Using Twerper to entice your target into the open door. That's very low. Have these dark elves no code?
Assassin's Code? That sounds like a terrible idea, Jim.
Yeah, stay.
Smack!
Need to tie half that blaze up. I do mean that literally. Just tie half that blaze. Do you want his that he blitzes? He's gonna be overwhelmingly massive number of strength in his forces. Go. Shooting man. Good ones. Takes. Follow. Follow. That's half the way to out. Surely can't with him now.
Remember, you need balls to score.
That's childish, dude. Funny childish.
Absolutely have to stop him. Or her. Whatever.
If the player is pushed here, it will finish in the public. And in general, fans are much more dangerous than players.
Push. Here. Follow. Oh man, don't fail this.
Let's take a quick look at that. No! Here's the unmistakable sign of a player's eyes rolling up into his head. He'll be out for some time. He's dead. Yes. Well, life goes on. Except for him.
Even so, he necessarily matches. I missed it. Don't push out field.
Loosen the cage and let the pretty little dove, I mean the ball carrier, go.
How do you know that they completely outguns strength-wise? You with that, you know that don't care with no problem. Yeah, I know. Something else. Walk stops it. Very detailed. Very much
With arms like tree trunks. There was only going to be one result in that spat.
So he was like trying to make strength south. Then consequences on there as well next. I don't read also in case I need to do it.
There's nothing better than hitting someone smaller than you, Jim.
Maybe we'll ego block.
It reminds me of the famous story of Nurgling and the Great Unclean One. But this time, no miracles.
Forward catcher.
Not a wise place to end your turn on the border of the pitch. If the player gets pushed into the crowd, well, the last time that happened, it took 3 days to piece the body back together.
It was time. Not far from the end zone.
Fortunately, can't blitz the way it's a real way. I'm so upset that I think I did. Oh well. It's 1-1 at the moment. If I can get the ball off them and get it there in the next 2 turns. Next turn or 2 I can get a thing.
You know, a fence may solve this problem of players being eaten by the crowd. Just a thought.
Now. Oh, blitz. Stay.
One more step back.
Wrong move.
Let's finish on an upbeat and violent note.
Oh yeah. You have the steady strength.
The clock's ticking, the final whistle is moments away, and yet the score is in deadlock. You know, the fence may solve this problem of players being eaten by the crowd. Just a thought.
You be killed. Okay, we can potentially get this. Have a catcher one over here. There'll be a third man to make that surefire you're going to take him down punch. We need thrower to pick up the ball. These will go pick up. Here
comes the last chance pass.
They're right there. All you had to do was throw it. By my God, sometimes I'm glad I don't have a pulse.
Really? Everyone missed that.
Not up to much today, poor thing.
He'll fix the pickup chance. And he had a rewind. So.
Oh, dear. Someone's getting fired in the morning.
Lit.
Because 2 big guys is always better than 1.
It reminds me of the famous Nurgling and the Great Unclean One. This time, it's no miracle.
Last thing Sandy here. Oh, there's a way here. I didn't know that. Yeah, cool. That's fun.
2
got
big
3 dice.
goons that get together and fall on you.
Chances of all 3 dice for skulls were slim.
With arms like tree trunks, there was only going
What
to
if
be
you
one
always
result
don't play 2
to
guys?
expect.
Right. He can pick it up. He can potentially throw it. If he throws it and catches it, we might still
Nice catch. Now go on, buddy. Pass. Will it start something exciting in the dying moments of the match?
We got the position of the ball, so we haven't got any ability to actually pass the ball to anyone else. Nobody's got the run reach to get there in time. So there's one more draw here this way, unless they're going to do the boys at low tie for one last stand.
It's a draw. I could have predicted that and saved us all a lot of time.
That's a draw. After all that effort we put into actually knocking them out. Well, then again, we would have stopped us from scoring that first one, we would have won by 1-0. Ooh, that guy kind of dropped the
Good evening
ball.
to all you sports fans. Here we are in perfectly adequate surroundings, getting ready for today's big match. Well, the weather won't be an issue.
Okay, kick the ball
I
over.
love this type of game, Jim. With such an unequal rating, it's going to be wholesale slaughter all the way.
Any thoughts on
Just
the
a little
Ukrainians,
reach.
Bob?
They're humies. Snooty little humies. You hit them hard enough, they'll go down. Watch out for those yo-yo moves, though. They're kind of tricky.
It's our position even though he's out. They're defense, so it's fine. On the throw is ready to kick it up. This is our brutal offense style. The way they set up makes it very hard for anyone to get a clear stand because there's no easy thing.
What does Zug mean by prove, Jim?
It's the mighty Zug, Bob. There's only one way you could prove something to him. By causing
Yep.
many casualties as possible.
Yeah, now we're talking.
No, wait a minute. There's a blockers. That's it. They're linemen and blockers. They don't actually have anything designed to throw things.
They've picked up the ball. I suppose I should say something memorable or funny here.
I can punch you guys down. Get that ball returned. Yeah, the only option was to push there.
With fists flailing, he's following up, hoping to get the knockdown next time.
Yeah, there's no point in doing that. He was both skilled. The only thing that would come from him trying to do that would be him dodging out of the way.
He's on him now, like a halfling on a hot dinner.
I'm gonna say, there's no chance Chuffy's gonna try and push him. The ogre has higher strength than you. Okay. Use this with your thing to width around the field.
The bigger they are,
The harder they punch.
That way, and we'll follow.
sometimes the underdog wins the fight.
Follow. Push away. Push them back. I might just instant kill. Meanwhile, we've got guys now. We're playing guys with wheels.
They rolled a 1.
Reroll. Push the down away then. At least push him.
They're gathering around that lone player, like halflings round a sandwich.
Look, Twinkletoes there.
Strength 1 forwardly. That's fine. Because I don't. Let's see. Forward. So forward. And witness. You don't have linemen or anything. Follow.
That player is so close to a world of hurt.
So this turn, he gets up, we do the no motion off the fish. Now we are going to you. And you don't have to do the launch. What's wrong? Injured. Holy that's the one extra guy that's blocked off. So that's one. That's their extra guy again. Next time out we'll have him. It's all cluster. We have rather successfully started this comeback a lot better than last time. Yes, they got the ball. However, they're also one man down. And next turn they'll be 2 men down. If he gets up, they do not to, but if he still get up, then he's the guy to play with. He's a blitzer, not a...
That's a solid formation. I want to see the opposing team have a go at the ball now.
Yeah, there's a bull gathering up trying to take the carrier. And we have a good chance next turn to knock him off the field. Up on blitz. He's a dodge though.
He won't leave him alone anytime soon.
Yeah, his option now is either boom me or kill himself.
This guy, the attacker, smells weakness.
Right. That's his first. Even though it's still double skull, fine. Nope. Now do. Stay put.
And into the crowd they go.
KO'd. KO'd? Oh, really? What was the injury? He didn't get injured, he got KO'd. I think the crowd feel cheated. Stun swing of the toe. Because we're going to push him towards him. You're on forward. It doesn't move anyway.
Because 2 big guys is always better than 1.
Let's push him back. Follow. Yeah, we actually have an advantage on him for most of these characters because of Got +1 strength on. I got 1 injured. That's fine. 1 KO'd. That's also fine.
The attacker has an assist.
Nope, back to injury.
Marvelous.
Man is now off
As
field.
hard as we mean to go on.
That's good for me and really bad for them because now there's a situation where you've got multiple to get round and around all the way around here. And that's a lot of my men currently standing guard on people. So yep, 2 turns in, and this is going way better. I'm if it was cheap, that guy who knocked off the field should be injured. Yeah, that's punch off the field. Well, it's funny that way, they don't like being cheated out of this stuff. That guy feels cheated. You can now blitz. Yeah, I had to use their reroll for that.
That
It was
way,
a lonely
smug for remaining upright. Pride comes before the fall.
I got a foul guy. What's the chance I could... Oh. Well, minus 1 foul rule. Yeah, don't try anything go anywhere because I'm not going to be able to move very far.
Unity is strength.
Follow. It's actually a free move point for me. Alright, that's made that better.
Oh, this could be fun. Especially if the ball holder goes down.
Yep, a little blitz.
This would be a sack. I love it when that happens.
Follow.
They can pass the ball to that loser. We're into the second half of this match on its head.
Well, that's 3 casualties. Point proven. Will Zug actually rejoin the Reavers now?
A celebrity said something on Twerper, Jim. It must be true.
This is essentially like a looking. That's working. Why did I think Rickroll was going to change that anytime soon? My player has exactly 70% chance of actually catching that ball. You're joking me. No, it's impressive, isn't it? A whole 70% chance. I honestly think a Rickroll was going to help. Oh, I'm just a joke now. 70% chance I'm going to catch the ball.
Good call. Intimidation is the key. It was one of my strengths when I was still playing.
Yeah. The movies are there. Now 2-on-1 fight. So advantage goes to strength.
Come on, guys. Together.
Yeah. KO. Nope.
Two big goons that get together and fall on you. It can really hurt.
Ow.
The strength of a bear. Unfortunately, fighting skills of a field bird.
Well, they've got a thing that can take the ball. But to move anywhere, they're going to have to... Now, guys, bring everything. go for it. I was going for the punch one. That was a advantage, so. Okay, 10-4. Really better.
This player likes to be well assisted in a fight.
That's 50. Good work. Yeah. We got the ball. We got the ball. I'm still not trying to deal with you. You have a poor chance of success. Most of the guys have poor chances of success. Oh man. Well,
Got everything. Sorry. You? Oh dear. But as the saying goes, today's player is tomorrow's necromancer fodder.
No, that's not good for die.
There's no harm in making a block on the ball carrier. Well, actually, you could do a lot of harm. That's kind of the point.
Nope, turn over. Leave it. No, he has a 3-ball still. So it's funny follow it.
Good catch, but oh, so near to the end zone.
Yes. I should have him first. Yeah, but the guy got KO'd and knocked out.
Smack!
Die! Plus one foul, apparently. Well, it's 3 kills anyway, so it's not a problem. Right now we hope here. Several duels.
That player is about to get punched above and below the belt at the same time.
I get out of the picture. There's a one-on-one chance here. Basically, yeah, unfortunate. Later. Throw would have a better chance. Blitz. One of those. I'd love to try one of these guys over here. But it will get attacked on the way through. He's a blocker, so he's very good at blocking. And I think a spare man back here to play with. So, I have to blitz and see if I can knock the ball out.
Put pressure on the ball. Can't argue with that. Good defensive block.
Well, going on anyway. Hello. Number 6. Unbound. That's 5. That was 2 guys on the ball carrier, so that's 2. A higher chance of knocking him out. Oh, injured.
That's why I love this game.
That's 4 down. Yeah, that's healthy 154. That gives us seriously medical advantage now. Follow, so we can at least attack him with moves. So by the end of the first half, we get Chernobyl touchdown. Well, same time, they're not doing healthy for players. With half their pitch, half their team off the pitch. Wow, going in. Pick it up.
They're attacking the ball carrier, Bob.
I know, Jim. I'm watching the same match as you. Take down the ball carrier before he can move it up the field. Blood Bowl 101.
I'm gonna move you here. No blitzer, so follow that. KO or injury race. Now I'm at the ball. I'm pretty sure I can move it in 2 turns. Especially if I can continue to knock out people. Technically I can pick that up, so he's fine. Let's go, right. It's 3 dice.
2 big goons that get together and fall on you. It can really hurt.
Wow, seriously? I had 3 dice and only one of them was a decent enough. Plus side, that's so far away, he ain't gonna move his voice to get there. Oh, I was gonna tumble. Just in case the guy does actually. Now? Or anything? Stick on the was. Stay on. Now he's only capture guys
Safety in numbers.
everything on. Grab
The
the
player's
ball.
taking the ball, and the end zone is close.
On the edge of the field there, within grasping range of the fans.
Yes, but only 2. Not many of them can still actually move. He moves if don't get attacked. Go for it.
Help me out here, Jim. These Tonians are just Pasho Hubies, right?
Yes, they're different from other human teams like the Marauders or the Reavers. They hail from another nation across the Grey Mountains. They have
3 dice,
an
come on, 3
obsession
dice.
for riding around on horses, saving damsels, slaying dragons, and kicking peasants in the face.
Kicking peasants in the face? Oh, that's one of my favorite hobbies, Jim.
Then you might as well head over the border to Bretonia, Bob. There's plenty there, and they'll thank you for it.
Oh. Nice joke. Ooh, well done, catcher boy.
More pain for that team. Their pain is our pain.
Because at this rate, we'll have 3 men. About 4 guys. Yeah, we've got 5 guys left standing. Oh, Blitzer do. Blitzer. don't. I have blocks. I don't worry about that. Follow. No chance of. I should have avoided it. Wrongly able to get back here. I don't want to fall over. This is just glitches so we can have like bragging rights of how many people we've got out of one match. Don't miss me now. Having such a good time. Cut the ball. Don't miss me now. Turn 8. We're gonna do some score. Don't mess me now. Don't mess me now. The animals will get better this turn.
More merrier.
Guy still standing on the entire field. So she's still stood up. As they go for touchdown. And then goes for feet. That's what he does. One nil.
Touchdown. Game's getting interesting.
Well, with that touchdown under their belt, we can finally get this match started.
I don't think the guys who are currently unconscious will say, going to say smash on the start again. You know what the hell? There's still 5 minus 5 people. In fact, they're now
All the knockout
with
players
extras.
are back on the field. How delightful.
Being outnumbered is never fun, Jim. But on the Blood Bowl pitch, well, it's deadly.
Despite being in the lead, this team now has to kick the ball to the losing squad.
They'll want to get it back as soon as they can.
Sure. It doesn't matter. They have no turn to try and get it down to some end of the field. We cannot. Oh, do you know what kick that between the foot posts? Go for it. Touchdown kick. You can run and jump, boys, but quite frankly, you can't win. Oh, the blitz.
They've gone into the opponent's tackle zone. Should be good.
I don't think I'm any thing to defend the trees. Yeah, he's up on that with move
That's
or
it.
tail.
Force them back and then pow!
Anytime they're down, there's a chance we can eat it. Flint K, killing, chance of assisting. We can do nothing, and we still win this one. Take the first round.
That's it. Get in their face!
Follow. Run, old man. Old man McGruff. If we fumble now, it makes no difference.
Those players are very close. Smells like a fight is about to happen. This is going to be decisive.
That's the match.
Oh, that's a good tackle. Now, can they capitalize on this?
And that's the first time. I didn't know we did worth time deals for all my players for the start they do. My team is only 1-0. They still have 5 guys on coaches.
with one team having a 3-player advantage. Can't see how the smaller squad holds you. There he is, Bob.
Now there's a sight for sore eyes, Jim. That's a Blood Bowl player right there. Maybe this coach knows what he's doing after all. The best defense is a good offense. Or the other way around.
There he is, Bob.
Now there's a sight for sore eyes. That's a Blood Bowl player right there. Maybe this coach knows what he's doing after all.
Strength is 5 is higher than them, so... Hey, do you hear me? In attack. Lions... I don't know about these people. I don't think I need to treat all this about players. The guy for the back. I want at least one capture. Anything marked, okay? I don't think I kicked well, but I'm if they're in trouble, I have more men than they do.
Hey, Jim. How many halflings does it take to change a candle in a lantern?
Well, they're very short, so maybe quite a few.
My experience, it takes 6. 1 to change the candle, and 5 for me to eat.
That's a bad joke. Not bad, dude. That's all like, that's all friendly. That's fine.
That player is about to get punched above and below the belt at the same time.
The fans are ravenous, and so am I. Just one more step.
That's not even with it. Well, at least I'm helpful to him.
One more step, and...
There might be vision.
That looks
It's
painful.
close. They don't have a team left. We have literally just go beat up on these 6 fellas. And, yes. Yep. Little push shove. Here. Follow. Let's move this way. Yep. Roll, please.
That's going to cost. Now it's the other team's turn.
They didn't have so many people knocked out inside. The rifles just decided to not bother. Yep. And do your job.
Oh, he's going to get intimate with
Old civilians. He got killed the first time round. We have Marco. With all these fellas, they are not in the best of positions. Why does this stuff leave? Don't think Martin there. There are 3 guys now touching him touching his square from multiple angles. Look that way and we will follow. And that's going to actually shift the power balance between you guys. Follow this. KO or whatever this. Stumble KO is fine. He pounds the ball.
Because two big guys is always better than one.
Please. Fine, let's see the horseback.
That one's got fists bigger than ham joints.
Real this lining guys look for us. Happy to look at those special form. And follow, please. They have one guy, two guys who still stood up. Half their team is on the thing. He's out cold. One guy who could potentially get up. And then they turn the ball. And the next turn for a touchdown.
There's Zach. See?
6 interceptions.
If the player remains very quiet, he may not be noticed.
Oh, push me.
That's it. Aim for the
That was
ball.
an blitz.
Take them down.
We now have blitzes. He's solo, on his own. Seems to be no one to help him.
They're going to spend time on the bench for that.
And then there was free. And then there's... Sorry, I miscounted. There are 4 people still standing. Move into there. Because plus 2 strength because 2 guys. It doesn't matter if I choose because I cannot be stopped. You can't. The blocker has the counter-block ability. You don't really roll that, there's 3 dice. You're just taking the mick, aren't you? The guy with the biggest and strongest stacks going couldn't. And he's killed. He makes a
Player shuffling off the field, and possibly off his mortal coil.
And that leaves us unconscious. It's fine. He'll be fine. He'll wake up in a few minutes. I may wake up in a few hours, but that's irrelevant. This guy isn't for a bad day. He's in for a certain bad day. He can actually have the ball. That's such a big difference in our... And follow, please.
Right on the ball. It's a good move.
Right, so since there's absolutely nobody still standing to do anything to stop me, let's just sort one over. Let's make the guys walk backwards. I can safely charge this guy. I can very safely charge this guy. He's got +4 strength added to his own strength factor. He has 9 strength. How many more dice do you have?
2 big goons that get together and fall on you. It can really hurt.
Follow.
It reminds me of the famous story of Nurgling and the Great Unclean One. But this time, no miracles.
I'm not following you. I don't care. You do. The big guy gets a pushback. Frankly, the other big guy got a push. To take it out. I just want to do this for the sake of doing it. I like wits this time. Oh yeah, running around the box pushed. Okay, we'll switch them. Hello.
It's a touchdown!
And what did you see?
We're at the halfway point. If the losers are gonna make a
my
move,
touchdown.
they need to do it now.
Yeah. I got one opponent. Guy may get up. I don't think it's going to be good. He still lost half his team.
All
Quite
the young
frankly,
players are
doesn't.
back on the field. How delightful.
Quite frankly,
Being
not
outnumbered is never fun.
enough people
But on the
left.
Blood Bowl pitch, well, it's deadly.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Important
5.
thing, they gotta keep possession of the ball and not lose it. A strike back would be terrible.
Anyway. Violent? And then the next set. You can go for the ball. It's fine.
Ah, good.
have-
He's got the ball. It's always embarrassing when they fumble that bit.
In the knockdown, on my fracture, the level stats going. It's KO'd.
Ah, we call that Knuffles' Kiss.
Put the front guy back on. Oh, I didn't save a setup.
The Dark Elf Cult of Cain Torber account has just sent a message out asking for the location of Griff Oberwald. Apparently, they want to discuss some promotional opportunities.
Sounds rather deliciously sneaky to me, Bob. More like dark elf assassins are trying to lure Oberwald out of hiding. Who do you think's holding that contract, Bob?
No doubt. Gotta be the Bossy brothers. And not forget the rough by Griff debacle.
Using Twerper to entice your target into the open door. That's very low. Have these dark elves no code?
An assassin's code? That sounds like a terrible idea, Jim.
I love that the Assassin's Code, and yet when he touches his own screen was the Scribe's Assassin.
I've seen some pratfalls all the time. And that one is up there with the best.
Hello. He's got to run the ball downfield. I have. He is 2-0. And he hasn't got a lot of guys standing around to help him.
Yeah, smells like a good old-fashioned fight.
I'm not going to do my blitz on this guy because I outnumber him significantly. So much so that any one of my guys can actually get the job done.
The attacker has an assist.
The attacker has many assists. Once you do the fight them, they'd be the one who's still standing.
I like this. The dung is about to hit the fan.
It happens over here. Catch anything.
Because two big guys is always better than one.
Really? Nope. Turn over. They're going to have to run around my guy and hope he doesn't catch up. Nope. Didn't move with him. You guys are actually helping. All the dice I had, and all from the double KO.
Unity is strength.
This game's doing on purpose now.
Just getting born.
Right, so he has it's just 4 players, that's it.
Any action this player makes
Really?
risks a turnover.
3 guys, and not one of them can actually hit him.
That player is so close to a world of hurt.
The carrier himself blocks. That's really risky.
Less the players are all around the ball, the easier it's going to be to move.
Right, for Pete. You stand up. You should have a big official here. This game is rather adamant to make sure I don't do that. Don't know where I need or want it. Fight.
Is the assist going to be enough to come out on top?
Have to be.
With fists flailing, he's following up, hoping to get the knockdown.
That's exactly it. I wanted to be a lovely 3-0.
That's it. Force him back and then pow!
Oh, finally, the game's actually going to give me a dice and knock down place.
We may see that player later, if they will.
They won't. Because this only was the last match. Let's play the game. Right from Rob. The only left to play.
Can the player force possession away from the ball holder?
I know this ground.
A death! I can't believe on an emotional level. At least one fatality.
Hey! Catching the ball. Hey! Oh. It's last play. I would happily save him because he has so much for me. Right. Go ahead and win. If you can. Oh, I tried to KO myself.
After that match, I need to change my undergarments. Take a Rob while I Constitution.
Yeah, do your constitution.
My. Now that was a violent game.
Oh yeah, I loved it when that Hume got squished.
We've got the Goblin assistant coach hitting his head against the stadium wall, Bob. He does not look happy that the Reavers have one of their star players back.
Anyone would think he doesn't want his team to be successful. Very un-goblin-like behavior.
Yes. Everyone knows goblins like people to win. And okay, Dark Elves. Gym challenge. Lovely choice. Lovely choice, yeah. Get 2 Witch Elves off the pitch by any means possible. Okay, so getting the elves. I mean, yes, we have a star player now. Ha 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 ha. There is. I am not paying for. I am not to pay. Any money for that? Yeesh. Yes, the Emil. The Emil is one. You know. Well, the mighty Zog is worthwhile. He has mighty blow, +1 to any armor or injury roll made by a player with a skill when an opponent is knocked down by his player's block. Block. So we can't counter the guy without winning a double knockout. In order may we use a team rerolls, but has to do a d6 first. On a roll of 4+, he may use team rerolls normal. Result stands out being rerolled, but the team reroll is lost. Ooh, don't like that. Either thrower, I actually have no skin. Skills. Actually, I don't know whether they now have skills. Bug Weaver. Mug. Very, very handy. Wow. So even if you roll an 8. As a stun result, rather KO'd. So we'll usually get like, if you get like a roll of 8 and knock him out, it guys goes with me. Plus rolls some good turns of time. Why are the play feeling now? This wasn't there before. We had these, but these sort of skills weren't there before. Ha. Strip ball skill. Which is what they have. They have catch, dodge, so they now have skills. Okay, so we have the next layer of the game. Skills. Ooh, that's nasty. So, I don't get the witch elves off. That's what he said. He said, did any two witch win? How? You'll one team reroll? Again. Their agility is way higher than mine, but their strength is thinking they have way more movement. So they run faster, but they don't hit any harder. Let's go frenzy. Grab skill. Jump up? Oh. While prone, which requires a dizzy roll for both. Okay, this is adding more things to the game. My poor brain is gonna go, then explode. Who cares? I'll get 2 witch elves.
Great to see everyone tuning in their crystal balls for tonight's match, Bob.
It's exciting, Jim. Something to put the blood back in Blood Bowl.
It's the Nagaroth Nightmares, and there's already some controversy. What's going on down there, Bob?
According to our on-field reporter, Jock Strappy, but Dark Elves are outraged by the pre-game wine they've been offered. Apparently, you don't serve Dark Elves corked wine. Looks like another potential disaster for the head coach, Jim.
I can see that from here, Bob. Who drinks a robust red like that from a flute glass? What on earth is going on in the Reichland camp?
Is it game time, Jim?
Certainly is, Bob.
Maybe. When the gym always something fade out. I want to make my team out like all sorts. I want to make my team of all sorts. And have Chaos guys, orcs, giants.
Good evening from Cabal Vision HD.
Dark elves.
Is this a fair finish? One side is clearly more powerful than the other.
You really are a whiny little bloodsucker sometimes, Jim. What's fair got to do with anything?
I gotta stop later. Ogres are not right. They are very strong.
There is Bob.
Now there's a sight for sore eyes. That's a Blood Bowl player right there. Maybe this coach knows what he's doing after all.
That's a big hammer.
This match features Dark Elves. Always a tricky prospect, Bob.
They're good at throwing the ball, but sheer spite makes them enjoy the running game as well.
Okay. Which elf? They have spares. They know these spares. We got pretty good arms holes. If I get one off the edge here, they're gonna get injured. I don't remember that. Let's, you know, take. He's my stop. I actually want to move forward. This is skill point thing, maybe? I don't know. My floor is supposed to be able to catch it. So, not save. I'm gonna save.
Dragonbog's teeth, Bob. I'm fed up with this swill the network sends me. I need some really good red...
Skills, well players now have skills. They have interactions and sometimes allow you to alternate outcome of a difficult situation. Take time to read those of your players as well as the card of the opposing players.
Wine.
You're not gonna get it from that stuff the Reavers served at the start of the match. Even the elves didn't like it.
I know, Bob. You'll also remember that my preferred taste is not red wine made from grapes. No, those witch elves on the field, they would make good wine.
Why not? I'll go and get you one if you like, Jim. I can't go onto the field, though. You need to get the Reavers to push one off. Then I'll nabber before the nightmares even realize it.
Good plan, Bob. I'll twerk the Reavers' head coach. If he gets one of his players to do that, I know the gobbo operating the scoreboard. I'll rig the scores in return.
That's a great plan, Jim. Can't fail. Now we better say something about the game to the morons watching at home. Did you know our microphones are on?
Those players are running each other. Were you much of a runner on the field?
Absolutely not, Jim. I stood on the line of scrimmage and my victims... I mean, rival players came to me.
That player is looking rather smug for remaining upright. Pride comes before a fall.
Bingo. There you go, points. They're good at running. They're good at that. But not so good on the other side of things.
Because two big guys is always better than one.
Sometimes the underdog wins the fight. There goes Suckbomb, murdering his way to the top of the most
He's stunned.
MVPs awarded.
Just like old times, Jim. With Zug busy killing, I feel like we're back in the glory days of the early 90s.
80% bonehead. Oh, perfect missed it. Yeah. So, that's fine.
With arms like tree trunks. There's
And he's
only going to be one result in.
Oop, excuse my bad manners, but I gotta break in here. A casualty so early in the match? Hey, I might actually start paying attention.
gains 2+2 XP. Cool. Inflicted Inception touchdowns are all earned star player points. When the player has points, he gains level. So that's what those are for. When the player injures the opposing player, he's 2 less VD. Does not count for stunned actions, so it's KOing them and stunning them to work. Right, that's him 1 out, so we now will have the numerical advantage going forward. Blitz guy is. I want my Blitz guy because of that makes the double K dice like that.
What are they slapping each other with? Dead fish? Put some force behind those punches!
Oh, dead fish. Here we go. Seriously,
Let's see what the other side can do.
it won't make a difference. I will come down regardless. I should have run on it. You should kill one of my targets. I want to kill her. Get off the field. No matter how I do it. Even if it's foul or something to do it. See, I don't think they know what to do anymore because they have a slight issue of having too few one player less. So he always has 2 dice going forward. He has 5 strength, so
Moved right next to a teammate.
That player went down like a sack of snortling unmentionables.
fortunately Agile will get away from the attacks. Look for the points. Mark you up.
Haha, here's some friends.
We'll get through the next anyway, so.
This is going to be decisive.
With fists flailing, he's following up, hoping to get the knockdown next time.
That was the only blitz I can do. Forfeit.
The bigger they are, the thicker they tend to be. Obviously not you.
I love to blitz them on the bottom. Please, will. Okay. Go for it.
And down we go.
Hero.
He's
Also
also
throws.
They pass the ball, but will it be a completion?
Handoff
Yes.
followed by a great pass. A classic combination.
There's
No way past that. We're going to be caught somebody. With somebody. No. Let's go right close. Wait. They want him. They're going to have to come in here to try and get him. As long as they take at least two of them to gang up on each one of those two, the guy's advantage. Well, when they do it. And she's just already pushing him off. Bad play.
They'll need to get rid of the ball now there's pressure on them. The only use for a ball, in my opinion, to highlight who gets hit next.
Yeah, Roman could call that up. He moves well. I wonder if also get Jim's challenge. They're too good at dodging. Way too good. Now granted, this little fella has a slight issue of being
Two big goons that get together and fall on you. It can really hurt.
utterly
One less obstacle for the ball carrier. Textbook stuff.
I don't want off the field, so that's fine, because that means we're forward, so maybe we have turn advantage. Play advantage here. In my blitzer, we're just fine. Follow
One less obstacle for the ball carrier. Textbook.
I think he's moving.
Annoying.
No, he's not.
Oh, it can be very annoying. I don't have a blitz available. Can't get around and make it very hard for them to do anything to get the ball. As long as they don't mark the mobile guys, their strength stack isn't going to be high enough to...
Get next to the ball carrier so you can block him. And if that doesn't work, hold him. Ah, he's not far from the end zone.
Flimsy. Nice to put out. Best thing to do is push. He'll push over here so he doesn't fall, so he's trying to run the ball. He doesn't run for it.
The domino effect in action.
He gets around. Close to go.
Get it. They want to pick up the ball. But you got to get rid of your opponent first.
I got a feeling over him. Yeah, these guys won't catch him anytime soon because they are too good. The agility stats are way too high. Or rather, my ability to hit people is way too low.
Good call. Intimidation is the key. It was one of my strengths when I was still playing. Two big goons that get together and fall on you. It can really hurt.
Smack!
Why don't I just like take a risk and try and stomp it or something? He fits a bonehead. Oh, we know that. Forget that, this game was one way still won't be together.
Ow! Rather than me.
And injured.
Yikes! They're going to be carrying that scar around for the rest of their short life.
This is annoying. They have found a bad mustang to help with his else. Because they just will and run around. See? There's no touch. Dodge, jump up. He can run, won't make a difference. You're not strong, but that flow trait of his was really damaging to us. He kept getting stunned. Because he was like, huh? Started staring at people.
This player likes to be well assisted in a fight.
He's on him now, like a halfway.
You know, double stun. Actually, would have gone to double stun.
This player, the attacker, smells weakness.
Otherwise, hesitating, you can run halfway. You'll dodge them.
They're surrounded.
Dodge.
Any advice?
Violence, Jim. It's the only answer.
I try it and get in. Yeah, those do nothing.
Will the big one manage to lay out an opponent of half his strength? Sometimes the underdog wins the fight.
He's dead.
Oh dear, they'll be expensive to repair.
Well, made us be happier. Nice to meet him. Something other than a push.
A push for a ball, in my opinion, to highlight who gets hit next.
They get a touchdown. Really better. Well, tails, nice tails or something. Take that would be really nice. Right. Oh, I mean it. Oh, very easy to go. Skip. And over. Plus side. Two people out. Dude, trust me, you've got enough skill to
You'll
run
get an
away with.
assist now. Listen,
Trust me, he's got enough agility skill
this
to run away.
formation gives him a safe progression. It's gonna be hard to make him lose the ball.
Okay. What the? I actually caught him? Wow. That's about 83% chance of dodging.
And it's gone! Sorry.
Well. You might put the Logan back in. Just yet, because it's really useful. Well, this could be,
A shortage of 2 players is not insurmountable, but it's not easy to overcome either.
Possession is the key to winning, which must drive the coach crazy, as his team has just kicked it away.
oh, yeah, there's a free turns to go there. Can't get a home touchdown. Marking into there. Let's go to the next star. Still got 2-star.
Because 2 big guys is always better than 1.
It reminds me of the famous story of Nurgling and the Great Unclean One. But this time, no miracles.
I like it. Actually, I like it. An injury. Them, not me. Wow. How's the strength? How's the strength 1? You know what? I'll tie you up. Now it's from even. Who are you, Kobe Brother?
They're gathering around that lone player, like halflings round a sandwich.
Please? Oh, he's stunned, so that's good. I'm not gonna reroll that because 83%.
And he's standing there drooling.
Yeah, I might lose. So it's a bit of a flip squad in now, but he did only 1 dice. 1 in 6 chances of it actually being out there, that's me roll that.
He won't leave him alone anytime soon.
Don't threaten dodge. Oh, you're full here. I should
They must have glue on their fingers.
Well, on the plus side, they've only got 5 guys still standing and 1 stunned and only 3 getting kicked up. They're going to double tackle this guy. Now, the thing is, they don't have a reroll. So no matter what happens, they don't have a reroll.
The more the merrier.
No, that's a push.
Twinkle Toes there.
That's a stop on one of them, that's it went down. That's what we know. What's my where's it? Foul line.
Now that's a holding maneuver, if ever I saw one.
Wow, even moving him counts as a bonehead move.
Count those teeth, Jim. They'll have to pick up most of them off the ground in a few seconds' time.
We might get a foul here. Plus 1 foul rule. So if I move my guys here, 58% chance of foul.
Will the big one manage to lay out an opponent of half his strength?
Nope. No, he won't. He were 2 dice, they couldn't do it. Follow, please. I don't think I'm going to get the witch thing. I'm rather lucky if I can get the score to be even.
Ref's not looking! He's not looking! Get in there!
Stunned. Oh, he's hard to listen. You stay down there. Just... Alright, it's okay, it's fine. Yeah. Generally, I imagine you're untouchable. 0. You can even move really awesome. Can't. So you gained the ability to move, but you did not think to actually be able to do anything else. Oh, we managed to win this.
That's it! Get in their face!
If I can push, maybe a little blitz.
Come on, guys! Together! One side's got superior numbers. Always good for a laugh.
And it failed.
They're going to spend time on the bench for that. Sides are starting to look a little uneven.
It's great. I smell obliteration. This is gonna get bloody.
Knockout!
Right, I was actually hoping to do some particular motion in that one, but it's not going to happen now because she's unconscious. Yeah, I was going to do it as unconscious. Double. Out for the count. There you go. I'd love to blitz my way over there. I really want to see if I can actually get a ball past the ball to the line. So, okay, there's 3 of them are cold. That's fine. You know what? I think there's a chance next round to...
Right next to a teammate.
Go for it. Let's do it, dodge.
Well, the fans are ravenous, and so am I. Just one more step.
We'll do it to eat. Oh.
The bigger they are,
The harder they punch.
smack.
Right to the take out. Take down, that would be nice. Follow. We need a touchdown with that twice. Stunned. We'll run it. You don't know if there's a chance of catching. Oh,
That's a good economical pass. Fail.
at the end of the first half anyway. On the plus side, they're down 1 eventually. I think they were the strongest opponents, strongest guys.
That's gutsy and brilliant. Taking the ball from right under the opposing team's nose.
This is actually going side. No, forward. What's the rematch? Nope, there's only one left out. I got subs though.
I imagine that in their dreams, at least, they're winning this match.
I'm tempted to go down there and help out myself, Jim. I'm worth at least 3 players, and I could do with breaking a few necks to air out the cobwebs. Must be a real kick in the head to have to kick the ball away when you're losing.
Yes, I do.
Put it away the back. I don't want to push through. Now if I can take another witch punch and keep killing people, great.
Safety in numbers.
Well, we're gonna go for him. We've got no choice. These two are way too strong.
Failure that could cost his team dear.
Got 80% chance to pick up. However, that was the
Oh,
one.
the ball has been lost.
Wow. Double K. That was bad.
Ah, it looks like Twerper user Tinklehound has won tonight's Spot the Psychotic Ogre Gangsters Determined to Destroy a Venerable Blood Bowl Team competition. He correctly guessed the Kobasi brothers, putting them in row H, seats 26 to 32. Those stadium seats aren't always large enough to support ogre-like sounds.
Yup. The Scumbotron screen camera has zoomed in on them. And they don't look very happy.
The trouble is, Bob, while they're searching for Griff, he's putting the entire Reavers team at risk of the ogre's wrath.
Gosh, anyone would think he's a self-serving, self-absorbed sporting celebrity, Jim.
That's still a cliff. Bonehead make it in. No. I don't want to learn a thing.
Fight can be so overrated. There's always room in sport for a scrap like this.
He won't leave him alone anytime
There you
soon.
go. That's helped out immensely because now she's got 2 others on one. That's a dodge. Hey, not dodge, however. Please? Ooh, she's stunned. That has opened the field up a little. Maybe not that.
Two big goons that get together and fall on you. It can really
Oh,
hurt.
I have a block. He hasn't.
With arms like tree trunks. There was only going to be one result in that spat.
Well, such a foul there. Just, go around, see if the ref is watching. Just in case there's some completely innocent notion of somebody about to kick him in the head while he's down. Just in case they'll notice. I'm going to kick her up. She's a bear. Bear functions here. We need the block, so...
They just got owned! That's what the cool kids are saying these days, isn't it?
Someone's just go around here to foul her. The last play, though. Feel the play, so I'm not getting over to them.
They are down, surrounded by the opposing team. This isn't going to be...
No, ref. With the jet plays. He didn't visit for it. Go ahead, sir. He's in trouble. I need to go for instead. They can't afford anything now. They haven't walked on the rules. The main gunner. You got it. This is up to the band of the teammate. Get out of there. No, no. They're trying to make some of the witch we need to get slightly fouled. Which not really fouled. 83% chance of foul. Just like put another person here, just to give a chance at this. 92%.
It's going to make him suffer.
Oh dear, just stunned. Come on! Oi. I don't get knocked. That's the thing. I don't get knocked.
Because two big guys is always better than one.
And forward, please.
Smack!
Oh, KO'd. He's out.
What's the point? They want to fight 1 against 11?
Knockout!
We need to catch him. On the other hand, he hasn't managed to stop me either. All the numbers anymore. Granted, I'd rather have the Aussie. Hey!
There's nothing better than hitting someone smaller than you, Jim.
Oh, one kicks in. Never mind.
That's going to be a turnover.
I can only stun him once. All the guys do not have the strength stats. You ain't gonna get one over here. Safest place to be. Well, sort of. Maybe that loner kicked off. That one in perfect time to... She is not staying, she has not been killed. Off taking off the pitch was unfortunate. There we go.
They're gathering around that lone player, like halflings round a sandwich.
He's got a blocker, so it's fine, but then tailed or stunned or just... Stunned. Here we can. He's on next to this one.
The player's fist is approximately the same size as his entire opponent. With arms like three tricks, there was only going to be one result in that spat.
Capture is not going to win the fight. This will give us a chance to push. Even that
Put some pressure on the ball carrier. Move quicker. They'll need to get rid of the ball. Now there's pressure on them. Bang! Headshot.
Oh, that was touch. Oh, look at the touch. Oh, just over good.
Not enough tackle zones on that ball. And now the opposing team has paid the price.
We're gonna go for it. We need to get 2 touchdowns. He couldn't lead.
Ah, we called that
And 83,
Ruffles.
and he still fell over. Yeah, he flipped the gentleman not doing that, and he still did it. I got 83, he's negative to dodge it.
I can't believe he missed that action.
So close to a world of hurt.
We'll do you over here. It's freezing. Just go deep, go these two guys here. Get off the pitch.
The fans seem very rabid tonight.
Wow,
A few bits
Lucy's dead. It's actually consciously dead. Right, we need to, well... We'll follow make room. Best option really gets those goal, at least not to me, as we keep them on the field. Stay out. Wow, the 30 switch of pickup. He's got a chance of pulling the ball. He gets it to the ball.
The players arrive to assist their teammate. This is going to be decisive. Look at Twinkle Toes there.
It's been nice to get a goal pitch. Double red. Forget that, I have at least two turns to...
So close, so very close. I'm certain nothing will go wrong before the next turn.
A little quick pass. Well, he gets a finger hits it. Finger anyway, so... Turn 13, I don't get him. Literally pushed off the edge.
All this focus on the ball is against the spirit of the game. Give me more random violence.
They did that, makes him.
And into the crowd they go.
You'll never see them.
Right. Please. Reroll. KO.
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Right. I quite desperately need. Yes, just to get to tie. They grab the ball and run. You can't pull past us. They go for that, then should hopefully just be horrible at them.
An unmolested enemy in the end zone? Brr, not in my day.
Biggest win of the game. Catch!
Touchdown. That's a very late equalizer. This match must be destined for.
Yeah, I don't know how to win it. He has actually win the game.
some sleeping beauties? They're obviously outnumbered. It seems impossible to win. Both teams are on edge. This kick is crucial.
Well, no, explain the whole thing. I take him off because I don't. Because as much as I want him in there, he's a bit of a liability with the fact he's out. He needs to literally have like 3 turns and get it the ball through. Offensive efforts. So we need to push it over. Touch back. I just kick it ball. Oh, I'm just like kick over for a drop kick goal.
Nice. Very nice.
He's trying for a
Ball is secure. Can the other team steal it away?
Turn 14. We're going to need to push.
Come on, guys. Together.
No. Seriously. Ow. All the time. Inside. No, 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 no. You're going to get knocked down. Or turnover. That would have been just every run.
So close, and yet so much can still happen. Nothing's certain in this game.
Except that if you must win. Or if you will automatically win because it set itself up to win. See? You might have like a 800% chance of dodging. All I want to do is say, this guy.
Two big goons that get together and fall on
Punch
each
through.
other. It can really hurt.
Sometimes the underdog wins the fight. Not this time. Let's take a quick look at that player. Give us the unmistakable sign of a player's eyes rolling up into his head. He'll be out for some time.
We really have to knock that, turn and run the ball without fail up the goal line.
That's a dangerous place to be.
I can't push anybody with him. I go block.
They're going for the ball. That's the shot. Get him early.
On the edge of the field there, within grasping range of the fans. And they're looking hungry.
Now we could turn 15, turn 16. What it is, Jim's thing, but I can't. These witches have made certain they have no point, have made certain to stay away from points where they can be tell.
Some defensive pressure gathering.
See? Again, two
You
guys.
need to get the ball forward. The end zone is in sight.
Two guys. Actually, if I have 8 guys standing there alone, and they still go straight through. Cool. Plus. 50-50. I got nobody available to run a blitz. Other than you.
He's coming to help his buddy. That's gonna hurt.
And let's do a push.
One more step and...
It's actually no good either because it's all over here.
They're building a cage around the ball here. It's a solid tactic.
I'd like to blitz again, but I can't. My only option is to win this and play the ball again. Nope.
He seems a little stunned, doesn't he?
Nope.
A tense draw. It could have gone either way, right up to the final whistle.
Were we watching the same?
And we lost. Yay. Oh, we don't have time for another match. No time to play the match again. I don't know there will be... I don't know. We might do. We did this early. I mean, we've got more players than they do, but...
It's exciting, Jim.
It's the...
Court looks like...
I can...
I think the only thing there was the ability to get the ogre stun blocking himself constantly. Now I wanted to do was knock out the witches.
Ah, welcome back, sports fan.
What was one thing I couldn't do?
Thoughts on the stadium, Bob?
None whatsoever.
And we've got an interesting match ahead of us. One where the sides are not evenly matched. Bob's quite excited, aren't you, Bob?
Thrilled, more like Jim. I love these uneven games. There's always so much blood.
There he is, Bob.
Now there's the cyclist.
I won't stop playing the
That's
game.
a Blood Bowl player right there. Maybe this coach knows what he's doing after all. Facing the Dark Elves is never fun. They're
And
cool, they're
tactical,
vicious, and they're
friendly.
really pretty good.
The ogre was so useful. So, capture. See, we were looking last time. We managed to knock out some dudes. He killed one. Oh, somehow a line catch this line. Catch for a lineman. Catches? No. If I play defense, I mean they're kicking.
Quackenbog's teeth, Bob. I'm fed up with this Swilder network stuff. I need some really good red wine.
You're not gonna get it from that stuff the Reavers served at the start of the match. Even the elves didn't like it.
I know, Bob. You also remember
Why stop them from getting different?
the preferred taste is not
Don't forget
red
his
wine
wife
made
was
from
great.
grapes. No, those witch elves on the field, they would make good wine.
Why not? I'll go and get you one if you like, chump. I can't go onto the field, though. You need to get the Reavers to push one off. Then I'll never perform like nightmares. Even realize it.
Good plan, Bob. I'll twerp the Reavers' head coach. If he gets one of his players to do that, I know the gobble operating the scoreboard. I'll rig the scores in return.
That's a great
I
plan,
want
Chip.
such a thing.
Can't fail.
Just-
Now we better say something about the game to the morons watching at home. Uh-oh. Did you know our microphones are on?
Yeah, this episode's already for defense of the ball.
That's a solid formation. I want to see the opposing team have a go at the ball now.
They got a big decent chance of dodging the attacks. I even like if they actually get hit. It shouldn't even fall though. Marking people. Nope, and dodge never happen. What's it? Oh, it didn't
But
track
that's
those.
a holding maneuver, if ever I saw one. This player likes to be well assisted in a fight.
Hello. Dodge.
He's on him now, like a halfling on a hot dinner. Remember, you need balls to score.
Massive advantage already because of it's like pushed everybody into one.
That's it. Force him back and then pow!
That certainly should have been all marked up.
Get next to the ball carrier so you can block him. And if that doesn't work, stab him in the face.
Except
Hang on, did you see that?
I finished him.
Ouch. It must really hurt.
I'm stunned by this doubles to speed. That's fine. Yes, decide to do much of anything. They're gonna have to blitz. Push anything through. And now they're gonna pick the ball up. And the ball's like the
Good catch. Hello, so near to the end zone.
You're blitzing on a catcher. That's exactly this. Oh wow, the option there is push. Push or die. You can run down if you like. It's balls up here. Now only one blitz attack. Ball carrier's there. If I push him off, he gets the KO.
That's a real flurry of blows the opposing player is taking.
She just won't stop.
I choose this.
Second, what's happening down there? That's why I love this game.
Which elf destroyed?
That's they're going to be carrying that scar around for the rest of their short life.
We got. That's actually the best. Going. That's the best. Best. I should go for. They can blitz that for. If I push him here. Dodging, that will happen. At least standing up is fine. I only blitz guys on this side of the field. attacking everybody? No, it's still Beale's strength.
Put pressure on the ball. Can't argue with that. There's no harm in taking the ball carrier. Well, actually, you could do a lot of harm with that. That's kind of the point.
There goes Zugbo, murdering his way to the top of the most MVPs awarded.
Just like old times, Jim. With Zug busy killing, I feel like we're back in the glory days of the early 90s.
We have to make a run now. Hey, one is another corner, mate. But still, that'd be two people over there in the country hill zone. And they haven't got something there. He's got no prayer whatsoever. Hey, what are you doing? What's my doing? I don't actually mind. He's running for the ball over there. It's only turn two. You're ganging up on a catcher. You do realize this, right? Shouldn't your priority be to go stop the guy going for the ball on the other side of the field? Go knock him out. You literally have guys.
That's a fail. I expect to see that on
Don't
a
fail.
prone player is a dead player. Off times it is.
Yeah, pushing.
Kick the stun player down. You're not doing anything to the guy, just walk over, and while nobody's looking, just do a quick stompy stomp. Actually, we'll hold you off for a second. I want to grab the ball. Their whole team is like crowding around here, this whole thing. I can't do anything else than that.
Stomping on the player's neck with those studded boots that hard?
That's not looking.
Yeah.
So yes.
This is a little stun. That was only like, you go into wow. Situation. Anything. The stun is fine.
Not enough tackle zones on that ball. And now the opposing team has paid the price.
The ball! It's a touchdown!
Guess what, boys? I'm touching down.
It's extremely fast!
It's not my usual touchdown time, but I don't think we'll have a chance. Before something bad happens. Two guys out. You have one spare, so I might have one guy
Players
advantage.
down is hard to come back from. He'll need some subs.
Despite being in the lead, this team now has to kick the ball to the losing squad.
They'll want to get it back as soon as they can.
Oh, that's only it's there. That's only the optimal spot for it's what happens it. We can run down here, but the ball's over here. All I really want to do is knock him off the field. Enemy target. You're the one I want. You are the one I want. Ooh. I know the one I want.
That's it. Pick up the ball. Apparently, it's more difficult than it seems. That's quite a few of the opposition surrounding that player. They need to be very careful.
Why you can't tackle me? That was the first half, and we only got them down to this down, so I want some extra people, especially so marking this way so that we can keep.
The more the merrier.
That's quite a mismatch, Bob.
I know. That weedy fella's gonna get splatted. Oh, I'm excited, Jim.
Oh no. Oh well, we'll see what the push then. Follow.
With fists flailing, he's following up, hoping to get the knockdown next time.
Well, there's only one up, so that's fine. You can't over-mark him because there are enough guys inside the field to do it. Bear no wits.
They've gone into the opponent's tackle zone. Should be good.
Unity is strength.
Go that way and follow him.
That player is looking rather smug for remaining upright. Pride comes before a fall.
You don't like this one. Well, you need nothing but push.
The attacker smells weakness.
You know over there, he's got returns get back down inside the field. And we've sort of we're sort of making corrals as well, pushing forward. Yeah, never do them like that, is she?
Really scary.
The way they run around is annoying because they're constantly dodging everything. Under the sun.
Good call. Intimidation is the key. It's one of my strengths when I was still.
See, three people. You buy the dodge of 9 meters still. 90 though. Oh, no, got it. 80% dodge chance.
That player better get up. Nothing good comes from spending any time on the ground in this game.
I don't care, he's only down there, so as long as it gives me time to just beat up on them, I don't mind. We don't get points for that.
One side's got superior numbers. Always good for a laugh. Knockout!
Go for it. No, no. Bonus kicks in. What was she not? Yes.
Two big guys is always better than one.
I'm not sure if yes, fan. Keeps it up.
It reminds me of the famous story of Nurgling and the Great Unclean One. But this time, no miracles.
Yeah, what's up? Still got 2 guys on. When you get off the field is very hard. There's such high armor score, it's very hard to get them off the field.
They're getting up close and personal, Bob.
You need to be close. So close they can smell your breath and see the dead insects in your teeth.
Alright, we're gonna get the ball carrier. Both sides keep this place up, play up, it'd be great. Shield cover. You can't stomp him off the field. I don't care what he's doing. He doesn't belong in the field. Yeah, got 83% chance of dodging. The ball carrier's going down. It's fine, but he does realise that there are a lot of guys here. I can't take her off the field until someone literally kicks her off the field.
Yeah, smells like a good old-fashioned fight.
Yeah, I'm in the ball carrier. But, just
It reminds me of the famous story of Nurgling and the Great
Hang
Iron. Oh! That was
I will.
painful.
excellent. Excellent. Getting 50 points in tries is very hard. Yeah. That's what you call slightly corralling guy. It does lend a little advantage when it comes to them punching. I feel that he thinks he's better to take her out when she gets up. Only lineman, yeah, I don't have a blitzer. Nope. It's fine. You prepare to deal with her when she gets up. You and here, so you say, Turn 7, going 1-0. If I can get me this witch
Players,
off the field.
smells like a fight is about to happen.
You don't have to worry about it, he has an advantage.
I never could get the hang of this maneuver. Whenever I jumped up,
Mention the
parts
jump
of the
over the wave.
stadium would collapse, killing many fans. Those were good days.
The other ones stood there like statues with such
Wow,
easy prey.
5 people couldn't.
Done myself. I fancy a bite.
That's why he's running back now, he's realizing. Slight advantage here.
That's it. Force them back and then pow!
Seriously, it's too nice long game push.
This time, the attacker smells weakness.
I don't think they can make it down with him. Also, I'm playing for a KO. Or an injury. Or something. That's one of them really just essential one.
He's coming to help his buddy. That's gonna hurt.
And McCutcheon has...
Is the assist gonna be enough to come out on top?
This doesn't have to be. Help me roll. Thank you. My catch is like boosted or something to make him stronger.
He'll get an assist now. Wuss.
What, please? Can't do the thing because he's in there.
They've got the advantage, but there is no sure thing in Blood Bowl.
This could be a sack. I love it when that happens.
I love to knock him off and then push him out of the field. They got one turn to... They got this turn actually to get all the way down here.
Safety in numbers. Well done. He helped us all.
This is a pass to them. Yep.
Ball transmitted. Easy.
And then they pull that off.
The hutch. The howl.
Boom! Must be extremely frustrating, don't you think?
That's it. That's the half, but again, you can
Equalizer.
start
Very,
with
very well. Nothing is decided yet.
This is very happily not going to get injured. The actual battle remains just on the point.
A fresh start, then. You can return to the slaughter. With one team having a 3-player advantage, I can't see how the smaller squad will win.
This needs to be a hell of a kick.
I like funny things like straight hands. Right, at least that.
The attacker has an assist.
Literally first round match. First half. If it's in bonehead, reroll. Please don't wound me.
With arms like tree trunks, there was only going to be one result in that slap.
The best you can get was a stun. I don't know
Because 2 big guys is always better than 1.
And this game really likes me so you can just get wins when you need them. Please. Thank you.
Ow! Rather than a knee.
That means in our time we're going to be down 4 players. Next round, next half. And now we just... Oh, they both look for that. Could be a little lock. Pick up.
Were they asleep then?
I certainly was, Jim.
As in the first half. We have 4 down. Serves. Dead and injured 4. That's where I mean.
They're obviously outnumbered. Seems impossible to win.
This is indeed a vital kick, Bob. But the team scores in deadlock.
True, Jim. It's time for one of the squads to step up and be a winner.
I ain't gonna call off. Who plays in the white zone? Alright. That's mean. I think kick off.
Looks like the worker user Tinklehound has won tonight's Spot the Psychotic Ogre Gangsters Determined to Destroy a Venerable Blood Bowl team competition. He correctly guessed the Kobasi brothers, putting them in row H, seats 26 to 32. Those stadium seats aren't always large enough to support ogre backsides.
Yup. The Scumbotron screen camera has zoomed in on them, and they don't look very happy.
The trouble is, Bob, while we're searching for Griff, he's putting the entire Reavers team at risk of the ogre's wrath.
Gosh, anyone would think he's a self-serving, self-absorbed sporting celebrity, Jim. Anybody got any playing cards? I'm getting bored. Hey, who knows the rules for nerd...
Oh, wait! What's happening? Sometimes the underdog. Not this time.
Okay, so we can push him back. Catcher. That way. We'll push him off. So free him up so we can push him over here. Increase him up. I don't think it's quite enough for full strength that. Bonus book. Push down it.
That player's shuffling off the field. Possibly off his mortal coil.
Happy. Can't get my blitz. I won't blitz her. And we roll. Get off the pitch.
You know, a fence may solve this problem of players being eaten by a crowd. Just a thought.
9 SP, successful challenge. Well done, you went Jim's challenge and assistant. Has changed the score as expected. Now on in this match should be a formality. It's 3-1. It pulls off. Wow, so winning that will close up 3 points. Okay, well, let's pick the ball in because, you know, not much of a issue.
Makes the blood boil.
Not much of a thing now. They have to score 3 times to tie now. And they don't have any witches. Good ball.
If the player remains unmolested, they could sprint into the end zone. Of course, that's quite a big if.
That was a run thing, not a blitz. They have a choice. Catcher, dodge skill. That has been just pushed off the stun.
Oh well.
We did enough though. We got the ball regardless.
Two big goons that get together and fall on you. It can really hurt.
Smack!
He's stunned. One going for it, please. Two linemen should be enough to turn this beautifully in my favour. I will
Well,
reload the
they had to retreat a little. It was getting dangerous. If you kill the fool carrying the ball, then you stop him from scoring.
And it didn't come off.
No, I got I still got the catch. He won't go after him. Scores. It's a bad score.
The fans seem very rabid.
Ouch!
They have a few bits of
Ouch! Not dead. Why did I get too tight for this? Basically, this is like you just get some points. And you got the ball, you're able to pretty much run it up the field. Run it pass and run the ball. 10-1, thanks to a little creative accounting with the scores.
This formation gives them a safe progression. It's gonna be hard to make them lose the ball.
If we get the ball by ourselves, that's a completely legal win. Let's run.
Oh, this could be fun, especially if the ball holder goes down. He's on him now, like a halfling on a hot dinner.
Go roll. That's it, this one better.
A little air in the way, Captain.
Yep. You gonna now jump in to help this guy? Then I want this guy to get this scales or this guy to take those points. Steak. Stay.
Oh, he's going to get intimate with the fans. I hope they're not too excited.
Ah, that's a good one. I'd like some new KOs. So these guys can play nice with those people. He's leveled up. But I want, these guys did points too. They're very good points. There's other points, it was only high level anyway. As now, nobody standing. And just find another. Two guys marked. Yes. Only much know this we can help. Another bad dumb. See, yeah, you're not done with it?
That player is about to get punched above and below the belt at the same time.
Oh, please. Technically, this makes it well as a down someone, the chances of getting bad
The attacker has an assist.
injury should increase.
He won't leave him alone anytime soon.
Oh, go ahead. Then come off. They have mighty blows, so it hits really hard.
It reminds me of the famous story of Nurgling and the Great 57. What's happening down there? He's going to sleep, and maybe we will see him on the pitch later.
Only in a rerun. He's MVP. Mostly got the pusher. All he needs to actually push the guy off. I have a walk.
We may see that player later, if they wait.
Oh, very good. Hello. I'm just going to run the ball to the end of the pitch. End of the pitch. End of the pitch. Ready? Oh, there's a blitz running.
Knuckles, balls, Jim. They're going for the ball.
No.
Good defensive block.
I will get him with the ball. I will not get the blitz. Dude wants points. I will roll it.
Apparently, this player forgot his hands in the changing rooms.
Really? What form am I? Oh, that's something. Really? He has a block, so it wouldn't matter if it was. Sorry. flamethrower. Even the points where I just knocking you guys down constantly.
Guys, clues in the title. Let's see some blood in Blood Bowl.
Okay, I'm gonna run the risk play here. Risky play. So I'm going to attempt to pick up the ball. And run and throw it. Oh, one of the kids.
Dropping like flies.
Oh, but those are trying to get the touchdown. Get the legitimate. And the
Balls would struggle to dodge through that defensive lineup.
I was surprised they're the only two guys left in the pitch.
Put some pressure on the ball carrier. Move quicker. Oh, this could be fun, especially if the ball holder goes down.
Oh,
Exciting.
KO! You're not gonna lose it.
That's how every match
It's
should end.
unfortunate. You shouldn't really get a point for looking down.
The player's taking the ball, and the end zone is close.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, they made a touchdown, unfortunately. Oh, a little bit then. Go for it.
Ball in danger, and carrier too.
So many touchdowns.
That was a nice touchdown.
I've lost count. I mean, I can only count to 3 anyway. That was a lot, right?
That was legit.
That Gobbo scorekeeper's gonna get fired. Or probably worse for doing that to the Dark Elves. Oh, well. You feeling refreshed, Jim?
Yes, Bob. Thanks to you and the Reavers. In fact, I feel a little bit tipsy. I may have drunk too much. I love you, Bob. No, really, I do.
Yeah, Jim. That last comment's already trending on Twerper, buddy.
I think it's best we keep focusing on Blood Bowl. Next match is a big one. The Gouged Eye versus the Reichland Reavers.
Fans will remember that the Reavers got trounced by the Eye in the last game of the season. And Gouged Eye Captain Varrock Ghoulchewer was on his homicidal best form, slaying many Reichland players. Let's talk to somebody who knows the history of this great rivalry. Johann Wesker Platt, you ran the Reavers Supporters Club. You're a super fan, aren't you?
Hello? Where am I?
Johann Wesker Platt. Is that you?
Why am I here? It's dark and cold. Are you a demon?
No, this is Jim Johnson on Cabal Vision HD. Were you not briefed before you took the call?
Call? What call? I was sat in my garden, and then I appeared in this void.
Ah, well, we may be having teething problems with our summoning rituals. While you're trapped in the ether, could you tell us about the rivalry between the Gouged Eye and the Reichland Reavers?
You'll get me out afterwards?
Oh, of course.
It's one of the oldest in the game. They've been at each other for centuries, but it really heated up over the last couple of decades. Varrock hates Griff, calls him a mincing Humy Snotrag. We'd asked about this at the press conference. Griff answered, Varagoo. Thing is, no one could tell if Griff was being subversive or really didn't have an idea who Ghoul Chewer was. In any case, it really annoyed Varag. Is something in here with me?
No, I'm assured by the summoning wizard you're all alone in there, wherever you are. So please continue.
The two have hated each other ever since, and that's fed into the team and fans' rivalry. The gouged I have really enjoyed the last 10 years of Reaver's decline. As a fan myself, I've got to say it's a real sogging. What was that? There is something in here with me. Something with horns and crooked teeth. Let me out!
Well, we seem to have been cut off. Sounds rather like Johann was too.
I think we may have lost more than the line, Jim. Like his immortal soul. Still, no matter. At Bluefan Proud has twerked in to say that he thinks the Reavers are gonna win this one, and wishes Griff was here to see it. Well, don't we all at Bluefan Proud? Don't we all?
Yep. Griff, get over here.
Wow,
Hello, I thought.
Yay!
Yay!
Won
On Starpoints. That's a match. Little by 7. Cool. Okay, so there's no team monster. Either the symbol on your player's card, that means it's enough for speed to level up. Go to the players. Page and make it level by clicking on the level button. You did great, you pushed the girl, pushed them off. Wow! Roll dice, roll dice. Roll 10. You shoot for one thing, skill, movement, or points, armor value points. So skills are generally only available if you get the dice that would result in a rise improvement strategies. Taking time to look at each skill improvement column, the goal strategy. Let's see, I would skill. Pro, what's it say? Pro stun, pro no stunned. However, for the reroll we made, the coach must roll d6 or roll 4, 5, or 6. Main roll 1 to 3 individuals result stand and they'll be rerolled with a team skill or team reroll. General. I don't have general ones. Fend. Shadowing. The player moves out with the tactical zone. Balance was roll. So unless player showing may move the square vacant to the player. No dodge roll. Player may make a number of shadow moves per turn. Wrestle. Bones for the squares even if one or have a box skill. Do not make armor roll. Don't turn over unless the player team was the ball carrier. Skill blocks a opponent with a ball, flying, movement, or result causes opponent to drop the ball with the square that they were pushed to. Data player. Tackle. Oh, fancy has this one. These are all general. Pro and sure hands. Lineman. So, sure hand might be useful. I might have you wrestle. Yes.
Ah, the coach seems to have figured out how to get the best from his players.
We're just dropping enough hints about it, Jim. I'm surprised it took him this long. Maybe it's time.
So now we get the double kills.
No more of this management.
He wrestles.
Let's get back to good old-fashioned mindless
Even if the other has the block skill. So essentially, he's now an anti. He's now good against the Blitz guys with block skills. Nice. I'd like to get rid of that bonus skill. I got 9K. I would love to buy stuff.
Don't forget, Coach, you need to maintain your home stadium.
I don't have enough levels. I'm level 1. I'm not even in the league. What do all this get out of the thing? Yay! Take revenge on the Gauchos and the middle things. There's the shop.
As you can see, this team are all poised and ready to go.
Well,
Those glistening.
Ah!
Use the replay.
Watch from my place. I've got team league management. I've got friends to play the league. That's happening. Well, welcome back, folks. We're gonna take on the Gauchos and rival beat this push-out rivalry on the side. Hopefully. Not lose. But that's for next time. So until then, I'll catch you all later. See ya.